Hello and welcome to the video. Magical Mystery Mike here, just about to meet up with my buddy Gerry. This is Gerry's triumphant return to the channel after having been featured in a popular video I made earlier this year covering our trip to see the Beatles rooftop concert in IMAX. We're heading to New York City for a mad day out. Why don't you join us? All right, here we are. It's June 7th, about 3:30 in the afternoon. We're going to head to New York City. We are going to try to hit up Strawberry Fields in Central Park, and then we're going to see Ringo at the Beacon Theater.
Ringo!
Or should we say, Dr. Ringo, Mr. Starkey having just last week been awarded an honorary doctorate by the Berklee College of Music in Boston. Congrats, Dr. Starr. Looks like we'll be taking the Lincoln Tunnel this afternoon. That's at a cost of $16 for those of you who are curious about the price of getting into the city from Jersey these days. After a fairly quick drive to our reserved parking in a lot on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, there's plenty of time for a walk up 72nd Street to Central Park West, and over to, of course, Strawberry Fields. Since 1985, this area of Central Park has been home to the Imagine Mosaic. It's a popular site in the park where visitors from around the world come to observe this mosaic along with the surrounding gardens and pay tribute to Lennon. There are often a variety of musicians and vendors to be found in this area as well. We hung out here for a little while, people watching and taking lots of photos. This section of Central Park was a favorite place for John and Yoko to walk, the main reason being they lived across the street in the Dakota, this beautiful apartment building built in the late 1800s. The building occupies the western sidewalk of Central Park West, between 72nd Street to the south and 73rd Street to the north. Let's take a closer look. Yoko Ono still currently resides in this upper section of the Dakota, which she and Lennon once shared. Disappointingly, at this time, scaffolding is somewhat obscuring the full view of the building facade. It's really some extraordinary architecture. There's a lot of history to explore in this area, and it's easy to get to via subway. I always enjoy seeing these cast iron sculptures on the railings that line what's referred to as the building's dry moat. This seldom used entrance on West 73rd Street provides a small peek at the Dakota courtyard. The main entrance to the building is located on West 72nd Street. A recognizable feature at the entrance is the guard booth, seen in this photo to Gerry's left, and notably featured to the right of John and Yoko in this photo used for the cover of the Watching the Wheels single. Behind these two large iron gates is a vaulted driveway leading to the courtyard we viewed on the opposite side. Unfortunately, this stunning double-height archway has the macabre distinction of being the site where John Lennon was murdered on December 8, 1980. The world can only speculate what John Lennon contributions we were robbed of that day. Just up the street from the Dakota, on the corner of West 72nd Street and Columbus Ave, is the Dakota Bar. Let's stop in. Cheers, Gerry.
Cheers.
And cheers to you who are watching. After several years away, I was glad to get back to this great bar in this great city of New York. It's just after 6 p.m. as we leave the Dakota Bar. 2 hours until showtime at the Beacon. Gerry, you getting excited to see Ringo?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Let's have some dinner first here at La Dinastia, located further up West 72nd Street. I decided on chicken and pineapple with a side of rice, while good old Gerry went with the pork chops.
That's the pork chops.
Gerry, you think Ringo would approve of those pork chops?
Number one.
Not so fast, my friend. Ringo is a vegetarian. With bellies full of non-vegetarian meals, we pressed on to the Beacon Theater, located on Broadway between West 74th and West 75th Streets. Ugh, more scaffolding. That's New York for you. Let's go check out the merch. Some really nice items here, but with those prices, it looks like I'll be settling for a t-shirt. Gerry and I both choose number 5. It's a decent shirt, with Ringo Starr Tour 2022 on the front and the tour locations listed on the back. Here we are, New York, New York. What an absolutely beautiful venue the Beacon is. This particular show was originally scheduled for Wednesday, June 3rd of 2020. Rescheduled more than once due to COVID, it feels great to finally be at this event. We've made our way to our seats in plenty of time. This is happening. We're under the same roof as a Beatle. Not a bad way to spend a Tuesday night. Here's the stage. The energy in the audience is electric. While mostly an older crowd, there are definitely younger folks present as well, including a teenage superfan and his dad sitting to my right. Good people. Ringo takes to the stage around 8:10 p.m., opening the show with a blazing rendition of the Carl Perkins tune, Matchbox, a Ringo favorite. So you may be wondering who makes up the All Starr Band on this particular tour. Here's the lineup. We've got longtime Ringo collaborator and Toto guitarist Steve Lukather. This guy is an amazingly gifted guitar player. Fantastic to hear him play. Multi-instrumentalist Warren Ham has played with Ringo since 2015. He's also played with Kansas and Toto. This guy is a powerhouse. What an amazing display of woodwind playing, harmonica, and supplemental percussion, as well as some very noteworthy vocals. Goes without saying that Ringo is in the band. He works a combination of frontman for some tunes and behind the drums for others. Then there's the always entertaining, polished musician, Hamish Stewart. Hamish worked the bass, guitar, vocals, and a bit of stand-up comedy in between songs. Next to Hamish is another musician worthy of the All-Star title. Colin Bay of Men at Work fame played some great guitar and absolutely shredded on vocals. This guy sounds amazing. Finally, drummer Greg Bissonette laid down the beat perfectly attuned to Ringo's playing. Bissonette is probably best known as having joined with former Van Halen frontman David Lee Roth in the mid-1980s. What astonishing musicianship from this guy. An absolute spectacle of focus, sensitivity, and power in rhythm. On keyboards, over on stage right here, should have been the great Edgar Winter. Sadly, Ringo announced that Winter had come down with COVID and would not be performing at this show. These All-Stars are all entertainment and all talent. They don't take themselves too seriously. A real camaraderie between them seems evident, and it makes for a terrific concert experience. Going into this concert, I had no intentions of messing with my phone too much to take shaky, crummy-looking, distorted, crummy-sounding videos I'm never going to watch. In addition, the Beacon had posted the following notice prohibiting recording, and the ushers were strongly enforcing this. That being said, this is Ringo. This is a Beatle. This is my first time seeing this living legend. I just couldn't help getting a few snippets of this experience. Here's a few lo-fi, low-grade highlights.
Just smile and give me a bit of my sandwich. Hey, boss, you are my boss. Hey, hey, boss, you are, hey, please. I'm only 32, and all I want to do is move to see you. We are living in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. I'd like to be
performance of Give Peace a Chance, at just under 2 hours, the concert came to a conclusion near 10 p.m. A good time was had by all, and we left the Beacon Theater satisfied with our concert experience. Gerry and I were satisfied with our mad day out in general. At this point, I'd like to offer a brief post-concert review. Let me make a few comments. First off, I'm just going to go ahead and say this review is very biased. If you're expecting to hear any negative commentary, it ain't happening. I was ecstatic with the show. It was a great show. I really enjoyed it. And I'm just going to go over some of the highlights here and the set list and all that kind of stuff as quickly as possible. This video is already running a little bit longer, but I just want to have some commentary on this. As I previously mentioned, great opening number with Matchbox. Ringo out in front, got the crowd going. He then followed up with It Don't Come Easy, and it don't get much better than It Don't Come Easy from Ringo. So that was a real highlight and a great performance. Ringo kept it hot with the Beatles' What Goes On as a third song. Again, another crowd pleaser. He stayed out in front. Very energetic, very personable, interacting with the audience. Lots of peace and love, Ringo's thing. It was great. After What Goes On, Steve Lukather took the mic and did a version of Toto's Rosanna, which, again, how can you not love that song? Fantastic. Ringo had moved to the drums for the Toto cover. Hamish Stewart was next up with a song from Average White Band, Pick Up the Pieces, very famous song of theirs. Ringo on drums, another fantastic performance and a real crowd pleaser. The hits just kept on coming, with Colin Hay then performing a version of the Men at Work song, Down Under. Fantastic. While still behind the drums, Ringo introduced and then performed Boys. What can you say about that? Ringo's been performing this song for over 50 years, and it was just fantastic and energetic and tremendously great to see. Ringo came back down off the drums and introduced his next song as having been written by his friend John, and then launched into a performance of I'm the Greatest. It was the greatest. Now Ringo knows how to please the crowd. He then goes into Yellow Submarine. How can you have a Ringo concert without Yellow Submarine? He did not disappoint. Yellow Submarine, awesome. After Yellow Submarine, Ringo left the stage for a bit. There was another Average White Band song, this time Cut the Cake. Ringo then returned to the stage and did a 1-2 punch of Octopus's Garden, followed by Back Off Boogaloo. Next up was another Men at Work song, Overkill. Colin Hay killed it. He sounded great. It was awesome. I would love to go see Men at Work in concert after seeing him perform with Ringo. Just sounded fantastic. They did a version of Africa from Toto. Colin Hay took the vocals and absolutely killed it. It was tremendous. Hearing these songs was great. The band then played the Isley Brothers tune, Work to Do, in the style of Average White Band, and that again was very well done. The Average White Band songs were probably my least favorite of the night, but that being said, they were still tremendous, and it's by a very low margin that they were my least favorites. Ringo returned to form to do I Want to Be Your Man. How can you not love that? Then another Men at Work song, Who Can It Be Now? Who Can It Be Now? I loved hearing that song live. The Toto song, Hold the Line, again, another fantastic song to hear. Ringo then did Photograph. Of course, you'd expect him to do that one. Then he did Act Naturally. Again, fantastic. Finally, to close things out, with a little help from my friends, I knew it was coming. Still, I loved every minute of it. How great it was to hear a live version of Ringo doing With a Little Help from My Friends from Sgt. Pepper. Just fantastic. Excellent way to end the show.
But wait, there's more.
Ringo leaves the stage and the band launches into the final number, Give Peace a Chance. Very fitting. Ringo's Peace and Love. Ringo is still Mr. Peace and Love. To do Give Peace a Chance and hear him singing that was excellent. Overall, this concert was great. There was so much energy. Now, if I had to give any criticism, it's this. Ringo is, I don't think, looking to stretch out, explore new things. He's going to the old tried and true but he's delivering an absolutely fantastic concert. I haven't compared the other set lists, so I don't know if it's the same thing every night. Obviously, there were some changes without Edgar Winter, the omission of Frankenstein, a couple other songs, maybe they switched around. But I imagine that overall, this concert is made up of the same songs night after night, and that's okay. It's such a good time. It's such a fun show that I really enjoyed it. It was my first time seeing Ringo. I don't know if I'll see him again. I don't know if this is a concert that I would want to repeatedly go to. Not saying I would hate it to go multiple times, but just not going to make the effort to do that. One time was enough. I really had a great time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entire day, and I'm so glad I went. If you have the opportunity, definitely go see Ringo. Special thanks to Gerry for being a willing participant in the nonsense that is the Magical Mystery Mike channel. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as Ringo would say,
peace and love.